Alright, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here with another video. This time it's going to be poker. And poker is actually something that has been in my life for a long, long time. And I feel like I should get more use out of it in terms of the YouTube channel. Like, I should make more poker content because it's a lot of fun. It's very easy to do. And it keeps me playing poker. I actually haven't really played in a while. I'm doing a lot of things that I used to do back then that I haven't done in a while. I played a League of Legends game the other day. I'm getting back into iRacing, and now I wanted to try to do some poker stuff because it's fun. And I think that it could be decent content at least. I also started teaching myself how to use Photoshop, in case you can't tell by this amazingly beautiful overlay that I've created in about 2 hours. With the help of several YouTube tutorials. But I wanted to kind of give this a try, this thing that I made, and make a video about poker. It also gives me a chance to talk about stuff and, sit back, because I've been gone for a while, and there's been quite a lot of things that have happened while I've been gone. I mean, it was the Christmas holidays, and now we're in the new year. And in the new year, everyone always wants to try to tackle it bigger and better than they did before, as we have this hilariously gigantic pot building here. I would not be going all in this early in the game with Queen. That is a mistake, I'd say. So that's fun. We already have a big stack over here. But yeah, there's been quite a bit of things happening. Some good, some terrible. I was actually thinking about making a specific video about it, but then I thought it'd be a little bit tacky. Maybe not. And before I get into that, I should note that your ears are fine. You are hearing what sounds like a fireplace crackling in the background with the occasional thunder and roaring wind, because I'm not even going to bother with that. Because I felt like it'd be a little bit too awkward with just pure silence while playing poker. I'm not always going to have things to say for every single minute of the video, so I put a little bit of background noise there. Let me know what you think about that, actually, because it is it's a decision that I'm not sold on yet, whether or not I should have silly, like, relaxing background noise like this. Like, there's like ocean waves and like jungle sounds and all sorts of weird shit. This one seemed like the least intrusive, so I went with this. But yeah, so I'll get the bad news out of the way. But one of my best friends passed away right towards the end of December, right after Christmas, and it was a gigantic shock because he was younger than I am, and it just happened out of nowhere. He did have like a medical history of unfortunate medical stuff that he had to go through, like, very often. So in terms of, like, well, it's not like he was a perfectly healthy person who just all of a sudden passed away like that. So, but at the same time, it still wasn't anything we expected. And he was just like the last person that deserved to go that way. And everyone who knew him understands that. So I'm not trying to make this about that, though, because I've been through enough of it already and the emotional drain of all of it. This hand is actually okay in this position, so I'm gonna just try to play a hand here. But yeah, I'm not actually gonna make a video about it either. Let's play this hand. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. Everyone's calling, huh? Oh, he folded. Okay. Well, let's see what you want to do now. Such a small bet. I don't really know what that bet's for. I'm gonna call it. Okay. So I like this flop. I'm gonna go for, like, I don't know, maybe 160. I should have it here. Yeah. I don't really know what he was following me with, but we did all right there. he wasn't chasing a draw because there was no real draw on the table. And if I hold on, I don't remember how to view my hand history here. Is it here? Instant hand history. Yeah, you guys can't see the hand history. I could probably make it so that you could, but and another all in here. He hit trips. That's really unfortunate for the queen. But again, like, just an overpair for your whole tournament life basically is, I don't necessarily know that it's worth it. I've made that mistake before, and depending on the situation, maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. But he could have trips, he could have 2 pair, he could have like a straight draw in that hand, and it just doesn't really seem worth it. Later on in the tournament, I'll play a hand like this, but there's too many people who can act behind me that I don't like going in with a hand like that. But yeah, so I've had to deal with that, and 7-2, and he's gonna win the hand. We still have to deal with the funeral coming up. Again, this hand is, I'm in like early to mid position here, and I'm not getting involved with that hand. So after the funeral, I'll be able to be, you know, at least like emotionally somewhat done with it, so that I can not have to be in public talking about it, because it was really mentally draining. This guy again. So yeah, that's about as far as I'll probably end up going into it. But needless to say, it was a really tough time, and it's something that is just obviously negative to everybody involved. So it really, really sucked. And when I say like close friend, like this is one of the 3 people I invited to my wedding and who came. So yeah, but anyway, I'm not trying to make this video a total downer. I did want to at least tell you guys that it had happened, because this guy, he's like literally just coming right back into the game. Okay, so 10-10 in this position under the gun, it's like I gotta raise. It's not like I'm gonna fold the hand, so I have to raise, because you can't really limp. You can limp. Maybe limping would have been a valuable, an actual real option here, but okay, so we are not going to fall under the same trap that everybody else is, but we are going to re-raise again. But I'm not going to go all in because I have an overpair. I'm changing my mind. I'm going all in. Are you serious? There is no way that guy could have had so many winning hands in a row. The only reason why I was literally talking about how it was a stupid move, right? And that's a mistake, because I let the sort of, not necessarily emotion, but I let the bad side of statistics get in my head, because I was like, there's no way that this guy could win. Like, look, he has the best hand here too. He's had the best hand so many times in a row now that he went from the brink of being knocked out to one of the chip leaders, to the chip leader at the table. And in my head, when I made that decision to just push them all in, and I was like, first of all, there's no way he would call my raise with a 2 in his hand pre-flop, which he did. And then he got lucky and hit both of them on the flop. He's just experiencing a very large upswing in luck right now. And maybe the decision I made wasn't exactly the best, even without that without that information to go on, but it I didn't think that would go down that way. It's okay, our blinds are still somewhat small. I'm not out of it yet, but I am in last place. We're basically in all-in mode to try to double up a few times here. But yeah. So anyway, let's go on to a little bit more positive stuff, like the fact that I finally did my taxes after several years of not doing them because I was an irresponsible adult who didn't think it was all that important because I knew I wasn't making enough yearly that I would owe them anything, and I just, for some reason, didn't really want to go through the hassle. Like, it's a stupid thing. You know, I have a tendency to procrastinate sometimes for things specifically like that, and I did. But I finally got it all done. So I ended up getting a decent return for several years. So we decided to upgrade a bunch of stuff. And of course, this all happened like literally about a week before I heard the bad news. So a week before, I jump on Amazon and I start looking around, and I did touch on it a little bit with the in the racing video, the first racing video I did with the trucks. We picked up a new computer chair, a new webcam, a new green screen that you can see in the background there. We picked up a bunch of stuff, new headphones, and I have a new mouse coming as well. So with all that stuff coming in, I was re-energized to do videos again because I was like, yeah, like, you know, you should have seen the green screen that I used before was literally a piece of fabric that I don't think I actually have anymore because it was like shitty fabric that was barely wide enough to cover my back, and it was taped to the ceiling and taped to the floor. And when you come in the room, all you see is this green fabric, like, in the middle of the room, taped to the ceiling and the floor. And it was really uncomfortable because I'd have to, like, it was literally just barely wide enough that I'd have to make sure I was positioned, like, perfectly. And it really sucked. And it wasn't fun to deal with on an everyday basis. So this is so much better. Although, it turns out that the webcam I got, which is a 1080p webcam, it actually captures a lot more than I kind of expected. So this green screen, like in the back behind me, it might not look that big, but it's pretty friggin' big. I thought for sure it would be good. Please don't let this guy win this hand. Good. Alright, the curse is broken. So we will now win every hand against him going forward, because he's not going to win any more hands because of the way statistics work. Which is not true, but there might be like a small amount of validity to that. These two have been, like, just having such an up and down game. So yeah, I got all this stuff and I was like, you know what? You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to get Adobe Premiere. Why am I in this hand? Because I'm in the big blind. I mean, I have a straight draw here, but I'm not doing it. Not with such a small stack. I got Adobe Premiere through the Creative Studio, so I'm paying for it monthly. And I got a trial for Photoshop because Jane needed the Photoshop to make all my thumbnails before, and so all the previous thumbnails that were made for the last few months at least were done by Jane, including the Nier Automata one, which I thought was really funny, by the way, because you don't have to watch the video, but just go in my channel and look for the Nier Automata thumbnail if you don't know what I'm talking about. Because I went to her and I was like, can you make this one like a little bit clickbaity? Because I know that everyone loves 2B, and I'm almost positive we can find like a clickbaity thumbnail. And when she showed it to me the first time, I just burst out laughing because it's like her ass right in your face. Like, it's the perfect thumbnail. I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for, if not maybe a little bit over the top, but at the same time it was really funny. But yeah, so the thing is that I was having to rely on her a lot, and the way that my sort of mind goes when I'm thinking about the channel is it's kind of all over the place. I want to try a whole bunch of different things. Oh, now I feel like doing some iRacing. I'm going to make a poker video. I did a League of Legends one, which I think you'll probably see the poker one first, and then the League of Legends one will come out later. Because I'm still like iffy about that video and just League of Legends in general on the channel. This guy rivered the straight. How did that actually happen? Okay, no, okay, he raised on the turn, and then I guess he was just trying to bluff the dude, and the guy called, and then on the river he got his, like, his last card to make the straight, and then he ended up having the better hand. Got lucky. Again, this dude. He's destined to probably win this game. But I seriously would label him as like a blue player because he's playing very iffy hands. So yeah, as I was saying, I was really relying on Jane a lot. You know what? I'm going to take one chance to limp in with this hand. I would love to be able to see a flop here. There's something like it's either an 18 or a 30% chance that you have to hit a pair. So this seems like the time. Just give me a little bit more blinds. Okay, good. We shall survive a little bit longer. Anyway, I keep getting distracted, but Jane, I had to rely on her a lot to make all these thumbnails, and sometimes she'd be at work all day and come home, and I'm like, I got like 3 videos that are uploaded, and they don't have thumbnails for them, and I kind of really need them, and, you know, I would feel bad about that, so sometimes I just wouldn't even ask her, and I'd just leave the videos up there without thumbnails, which always feels just kind of dirty. But I decided I was going to teach myself to at least do basic shit. So, the thumbnails you're seeing recently are the ones that I have made. This overlay here I made, and I also redid my YouTube banner because I just wanted to do it myself. And I don't know if it looks like kind of childish or kind of simple. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But it's good enough for now, and I can always try to improve it later on. But now I can do it myself without having to rely on her. The shitty thing is I had so much fun doing it. What a go are you, Bobag, name of the game? What are you saying? It was so much fun doing it all that I kind of just kept going, and I just made like a shit ton of different thumbnails and this overlay, and had a lot of fun with it. So the shitty thing about all that is that now I'm essentially like committing myself to $30 a month to pay for these programs. So we'll see. I'm gonna do it for a little bit, and then if the YouTube thing continues to go, basically like every time I'm actually doing YouTube videos, I'll pay for that subscription, and it's a lot better because I was using a really kind of shitty editing program before that I had acquired, and I felt bad doing that, and I didn't like the program anyway, and it was just all sort of shitty. So I doing things much more legit. I should have called. I did think about calling, but I figured since I've been waiting for so long for the right moment, I might as well wait a little bit longer. So I'm excited about that. I got you know, access to a couple pretty good programs. I really like the way Adobe Premiere renders the video, and I feel like it comes out much better. And it's a lot easier to use as well. And it comes with the media encoder, which is really dope because I haven't used it yet, but I know that there will be a time when I record like several videos in one day, and the encoder allows you to just queue up videos to render. These people are shit talking each other here, being rude. So if I had a day where I recorded like 4 videos, I could edit them and have them all render overnight rather than just one at a time, which I think is pretty cool. And that's another thing that I've been doing. Obviously, I've only just started it, but I have been putting a little bit more care into each video. And even if it's like the smallest thing, it just makes me feel much better about it, which is really weird because I had this time where I was trying to do a shit ton of videos, and some of you guys might remember that, where I was coming out with like 4 or 5 videos a day. I was trying the Northern Lion approach, which is the approach that I would take if I was able to do this full time. But I was trying to do it while working a full-time job. And, you know, I was making it work for a little bit, but it was just almost all my free time was dedicated to it, and it just felt bad. So after a couple months, I had to stop. But what I would do is just like bash out videos and not edit them and just put up the raw footage, which a lot of people do. Northern Lion does it, and it can work. I don't necessarily think there's anything specific. Whoop, clicked on the wrong button here. I don't think there's. Sorry. I don't think there's anything specifically wrong with that, but oh, my raise. Okay, this won't work. If this doesn't work, if I get knocked out here, I'll start another one. Because, yeah. I'm not necessarily sure this is a good idea. But at the same time, it's like, what are the chances of them having a pair? She'll probably just call. She says she's a lady, so she'll probably just call. No. Why so tight now? Could have at least got a little bit of a payoff. She's going in with like the most ridiculous hands over and over and over again and winning and winning and winning, and is now the chip leader. But then in that situation, for such a small portion of her stack, she didn't want to pay me off. And I thought she might have even had a better hand anyway, so. But yeah, so I was doing a lot of like just recording and just uploading the straight footage, and I don't necessarily have anything against that. And if you get the views to justify it, then, or is that the right way to say it? I don't know. Not necessarily the views, but maybe it is partly that. Like, if enough people like the content that way anyway, then why not, right? It allows you to push out a lot more. Because every time you want to render a video, it's at least an hour of rendering, and sometimes much more if you do longer videos. So rendering adds it just adds to the process. But even you just put a little fade in, a little fade out at the end, it just makes it that much a little bit more crisp, and it feels like you've put the finishing touch on it. So I'm doing that as well, so I can kind of feel a little bit better about the videos, because I was going through this phase where I was just thinking that my videos were just pretty shit, to be honest. And I just didn't necessarily like the fact that it just felt kind of phoned in. Like, even the tanking videos that I've done, which get the most views, like, when you sit there and think of it, it's literally just do a dungeon and go in. There's almost no work, almost nothing tough about it. And it can provide some insight, which was the whole reason why I was doing it. It gives you the opportunity to provide insight, but most of the tanking insight you can get through even in just one video. Like, for that whole series, if you're interested in learning how to tank, you'd get the most information out of the first video, because the first video goes over the basics that you need, and then from there you just build on it. I'm gonna fold. But anyway, this is not a Final Fantasy video, but I just kind of felt like the videos were sort of shit, and I wanted to just put a little bit more work into them so I could feel better about it. Well, this is a good situation, because we'll probably have a good chance to win a hand against her. Yeah, just no 8s. Ah, there we go. She got the 8, but I got the jack. So we're back in it. Well, we're not in last place anymore. We're still going to play fairly tight. Although on the button here, this is kind of an okay hand. But with a re-raise in front of us, even though it's her, I don't want to mess around with a mediocre hand. For people like that, they're going to be playing mediocre hands. There's a good chance she has ace-9 or king-9 or something like that. So she could still have me beat. You want to go in with, you know, a good starting hand like ace-king or a high pair. Well, shouldn't have a king or a queen. She's playing a lot of hands. So one other thing I've been considering is actually going a little bit of a step further towards editing the videos and actually trying to edit out the boring bits. Because let's say for poker, for example, like right now I'm talking a lot because I have a lot to say. It's the first poker video I've made in a long time. I had kind of a lot that had happened that I wanted to discuss a little bit. So, you know, I've been able to keep myself going, but I won't always have that much to say. So there might actually be some boring moments. And I want to kind of get into cutting them out. I'm not going to do it for this video because I actually wanted any of your guys' opinion. For those of you who like the poker content and are going to watch future videos, I want to know exactly if that's something that you like, if that's something that would interest you. Do you want me to cut out the boring bits where, like, not necessarily every hand that I'm not in, but, you know, the bits where I'm just not talking or I don't have, there's not a lot going on? Or would you rather see the full game and be able to watch all the players play, see all the hands, and get the full experience? Obviously, it's going to result in a longer video, and it's going to result in, you know, some quiet moments and just kicking back to the fireplace and the poker sounds. So you may or may not be up for that. But that's the main question I have for you guys from this video is, well, two questions. Do you want me to use the background noise, or would you rather if it was just silent? Or do you want me to edit out the quiet moments of the video to have it a little bit more condensed and a little bit more action-packed, I guess? But then keep in mind that you're going to be missing a lot of the game when you do that. Already a raise under the gun here, so he's first to act and he's raising. It's not a large raise. He's got a decent chip stack, so he can splash around a little bit. But typically when somebody raises well under the gun, it means they have a premium hand. But I am getting to see the flop for a bit of a discount here. And I hate it, so I'll be folding to anything. Oh, I thought he was going to raise there, but I guess not. This guy might try to steal it. The thought is coming across to try to, like, repop him and see what happens, but he's got a bigger stack than me, so I can't scare him that well. He can scare me more. And with a call behind me, I already know that was a bad idea. So I'm out. But I did think about it. That was too weak of a river bet there. Ace-8 in the small blind is not very good at all. But I have, at this point, man, we got a lot of aggressive people in this game. So I'm gonna fold now with all this happening, but I've shown myself as a very tight player, so at some point now I'm going to be able to push out and try to steal something. And I might. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. I would probably like to even, if not double up first, at least win a big hand first, so that I feel a little bit more safe. it's something that's very helpful when you're playing, is to keep in mind, like, what type of image have you been giving? I wonder if these people know each other. I don't know if they do, but nah, Germany and UK, so I don't think so. But yeah, keep in mind, like, the image you've been putting out there on the table. I've only been playing in hands where I've had good cards, which ends up being only 18% of hands because I have not been getting good cards very often. But that's also because I made that questionable decision way back when. Our blinds just went up as well. Which is good timing, because we were just off the button there, so we get pretty good value out of that. This is what I would call a foldable hand. Another raise, huh? Like, it's a real damn shame that I'm not getting a lot of opportunities, because this is the person that I'm going to be making my money back from. I'm telling you that right now. At least I'm really hoping. Of course, I'm setting myself up for the inevitable situation where it happens and we show down against each other, and she's got pocket aces and I lose. But I really feel like this is where I'm going to be getting my money from here. But I need the situation to be right. I need to actually get a good hand, because she's popping raises so often. Under the gun. See, this is another hand I love, but under the gun with a short stack like this, not gonna happen. I just got really cold all of a sudden. I can't remember what happened here. If there was raises. You know what? I'm already checked out of this hand. Give me like 3 seconds. I'm gonna go get my coat. All right. Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking about this hand. All right, I'm gonna put my sweater on here. It is absolutely freezing in Canada right now. Like minus 30 degrees Celsius. The fact that I'm putting a sweater on while I'm at home is enough to let you know that it is just ridiculous. Fine, I'll limp. I have a 7. So this is a kind of a similar situation. And with limping, there's a chance that nobody actually has an ace or a king. But the thing is that somebody's going to show strength here. If everybody folds... Oh, I don't like this, but we're going to do it one time. Oh my god. Did we just... Oh, what if he's got a king, though? I'm going to make it look like a bluff. He folded. I don't even have to show. That worked out. Sometimes you just get this feeling, you know? Like calling us... If they're going to make a small bet, it's... You don't necessarily want to just give them the pot because they made the minimum bet. So sometimes it's worth it to just try to get something good. Like if you have a piece of it, you could end up getting something much better. So that worked out. Would have been nice if he called it though, because I'd like to have a few more chips here. I would have had more than him at that point. But yeah, it's been like ridiculously cold, like colder than I can remember, and it's actually really shitty. Like the dogs hate being outside; they can't stand it. So when you got to take them out to, you know, and take them out to do their shit, they're really not comfortable. So they sometimes even have trouble going to the bathroom out there because their feet are so cold. And it's not been fun because it's like you gotta go, but I know that you're really uncomfortable. We got the Puggle like double bundled in 2 jackets, and it's not enough because it's literally just incredibly cold. Just with a jack, just with a 1 pair here. Someone else has taken my money. I need to get money from her before she gives it all to somebody else. But it's not going to be with that hand. I am a little like extra defensive when I play poker a lot of the time. It is kind of my style to be a little bit nitty, as they call it. But it more depends on my situation. Because right now I'm still in a tough spot. I can't necessarily splash around the pot and you know, try to make plays that are not really mine. If I had a chip lead, then I would be much more aggressive out there. And now is the time when we're coming up as the blinds start to get bigger. The chip leaders need to start being more aggressive now because they know that this dude doesn't want to get knocked out. This dude doesn't want to get knocked out. I don't want to get knocked out. So they can make more brash plays and most of the time get away with it. But these two against each other there. Oh my god, what are you doing? Probably didn't even have anything. These two. This is the showdown. These are the real main characters of this story. I actually didn't even say, did I? I mean, you're gonna know because I would have put it in the title. But this is a, hold on, go away, $3.50 tournament. And depending on how the reception of this goes, I'm really thinking, I've been thinking about poker a lot lately. And the fact that it is fairly easy to record. Ooh, got a flush draw here. But someone's going to make me pay for it. I will pay 80 for it. But I expect a re-raise here from someone. Yes, yeah, as soon as we start... Not worth. Fuck. That's a value bet if I've ever seen it. You know what? I'm just going to tell myself. He had 2 clubs as well, and he had the ace. So, I got lucky folding out of that one. As far as I'm concerned. But yeah, anyway, I've been thinking a lot about poker, and I've been thinking that it would be a pretty fun hobby to get back into on a little bit more serious level. So if you guys... I'm thinking about this, but I'm not going to do it. If you guys enjoy this content, please let me know, because I'll be able to put out more. And I might make it a little bit more of a regular thing. And if I do, then I've been reading into some like bankroll management articles and just how to kind of keep your online poker hobby going. And I've read all this stuff before, of course. I have the Doyle Brunson book over there. and it's you know, I've definitely done research into poker before, but it might be a neat thing to, you know, neat hobby to go hand in hand with iRacing. And if that's the case, I can probably convince myself to make a reasonable deposit and try my hand at just growing my bankroll by just playing one sit and go a day or something like that, which is definitely not the ultimate way to do it, but it still works. It would just be much slower. But I mean, if I win this one, so I put $3.50 into it, if the winner gets $14, so I guess it's not really that much, but second place gets $8.39 and third place gets $5.59, and those are the only people who get paid. So we want to get paid, we got to come in the top 3, which is basic sit and go stuff. And we are past the point now where if I end up busting out, then we won't be doing a new one at this point. I was kind of thinking about that, and typically in sit and goes, I don't really get knocked out pretty quickly. Because most of the time I can stop myself from making a stupid decision like I did before. And then on top of that, I do have a very reserved play style, and I'm not terrible playing from behind. Like with a small stack, I can actually be... I can keep myself in the game and give myself an opportunity to catch up. I've done it several times. So, it is, it doesn't usually happen where I get fully kicked out early on. Unless it's by a pretty bad beat or something like that. That's weird. A hand with no bets between those two. But I was wondering how I would handle that, and specifically in this moment, or in that moment, when it was pretty early in the video and I was already facing defeat. If it happens like within the first 20 minutes or something, I'll probably start another one, just to give you guys a little bit more than a shitty, like, you know, one shitty poker tournament. At the very least, you can at least get 2 of them. Ooh, this is an interesting hand. Ended up hitting the straight there. So now we're in last place. And we're continuing to get crap hands. I'm going to limp with this hand on the button. Jack 10 is a very versatile hand. Obviously, I'd much prefer if it was suited. It is not suited, but I will limp on the button so I can see a flop. I will not call that, though. Fuck. Good play by him. However, it does give me an idea. If I find myself in a position now where I have a hand that is very good and he's still left to act after me, limping into it might be a solid play. And he hits the king on the river though, and that's it. That person is donezo. 5 left, and here's my exiting hand probably, because I can't say no to it. But it's also not, it's a very misleading hand with the king out there. I'm already committed, so we're going to go all in. Hopefully we hit a king or a queen, or an ace or a queen. And we hit the queen on the river. Hey, I had the better hand pre-flop. She had no business. Okay? No business even getting to see the flop there. Yes, she did, because she was the big blind, so she had a discount going in. But I'll take it. And now I'm the big blind, and I have a discount going in, and I just want a hand, so I'm going to ride the momentum here. I am not going to continue. These guys give me, like, the slight... I know it's really hard for you guys to read the chat because of the way I have the overview, or the overlay. They just give me, like, a slight uneasiness of colluding here, but... I'm sure they're not. Just the way they're going back and forth and the different types of hands they're having with each other just seems weird. But here we go. Ace King. The raise. We are going to pop it back up to 600. Hopefully get rid of this dude and hopefully force a re-raise here. Yeah, we'll go all in against her here. No 8s and we're good. No river 8. Yes! Yes, get out of town. I told you I was going to get my money back from that person. And I got it back. With a vengeance. Get out of my game. That is exactly the situation that I was talking about before. When I said you just have to have a good hand pre-flop. Because, oh, shit. Because they make terrible plays pre-flop. And then they get lucky with, you know, random flops. That'll fit their random hands. But when you wait until you have a good one, you know they'll call you with a shit one. Like Ace 8 is bad hand. Definitely don't want to really call an all-in for all your money when you have Ace 8. If you have time, anyway. Look at this, it's all coming around. Come on, raise me on the button. You need to... Come on, don't do this to me. You need to play aggressive right now. I haven't really been paying attention to this dude, but he's gonna fold. Fuck. This guy didn't even have the decency to push me all in there. How dare he. People are playing very tight right now because they're on the button. So, next person to go out doesn't make money, and then everyone else does. So, we got to take advantage of that. We have a bit of a bigger stack now, so we can do it a little bit. But we do have to be ready for the counter shove by this guy. Like, with the raise here, if he pops it, I will not be in this hand with Ace-Jack. But I will call. If he folds, I'll call and I'll see a flop. But I expect this guy to have a decent hand. Again, I haven't actually really been paying attention to the hands that this guy's been playing. I've been doing a lot of talking and really focusing mostly on this person. So, I'm not exactly sure what he would be raising pre-flop with under the gun. I don't have a king. I'll try to buy it. Just give me it. Yeah, there we go. I didn't want to give him the full table for free there, so. And look at how the tables have turned. We are now in first place. And we're going to be doing what I was talking about. This is the best way to wave your stack around and take advantage. But you still want to have something to back it up. Like in this case, I'm going to do a min raise on the button because I could get easy folds. If he might have popped me there, so I get some chips, and if he re-raises me all in, then, you know, it's fine. Or I just get free chips all the time. And if I get popped, I can fold without committing too much. I will not be calling, but I'm glad that they are. All right. Oh, the straight draw. But he's done. He is out, and we have made the money. So, I mean, from 0 to getting paid in this game, that's for sure. We had a chance to get knocked out incredibly early. I'll call. And I will put pressure right from the beginning here. This might be dangerous. I'm not a fan all of a sudden. Now I am a fan again. There's a very weird straight draw out there, but there is no flush draw. And he raised pre-flop, so I don't think he'd do it with 5-8. So this is going to be a little bit of a value bet, because I think I got him here. Yes, we got him. Nice river for me. I'm going to take a bit of a break here. Give the illusion that I'm not actually just trying to play every single hand. Alright, here we go. Oh my god, twice! Twice! How can you do this to me? Twice! Not a great flop, but we will continuation bet here. There we go. See, this is the strategy playing out now. When you have the chip lead, you can be much more aggressive for a minimum price. A re-raise here at this close to the end of the game indicates strength, obviously. But I am going to call, and I'm paying for it because I don't want him to think that I will just fold every time he decides to re-raise me. Now it makes a lot more sense for me to fold here because I can be like, well, you know, I had ace-king, but with this flop, I don't necessarily want to call your all-in. So I can fold it. And I paid a little bit more, and he got a little bit from me, but I feel okay with that. I just don't want him to give the impression that I'm betting all the time like I am, but I'll fold at the slightest resistance. This will be an interesting hand here. Probably got an ace over here on the right for Grillo. Because he raised it pre-flop. He is on the button, though. Yeah, no ace there. Maybe I misread it. Maybe it was Barris that had the ace. Could have been. I'm not going to do it with A2. At this point, I want to at least have like a little bit of something. Ace-5 isn't terrible. I'll fight back, or I'll see a flop with it. We do have the 5. So there's a good chance we have a better hand here. But is it really something I want to fight for? There's so many... I'm going to make one call. And I will see the flop. See, that's what I was scared of. He's going to represent that he's got the straight. Because there's a good chance that he does. There's a lot of different hands that... 650. For this one, I would really love to know what he has. Because he only limped in, too. Yeah, he limped in. So he has a good chance of having any piece of that straight. And it was a bet that screamed of him making me want to call. But maybe now that I've shown weakness, I'm going to call. This stinks a bit. We're going to get a... Probably too small of a bet. I mean... I'm going to let him bluff me here. He has a 2. Oh my god, maybe I should have fucking bet there. That seems like a mistake. I think in that situation, I shouldn't have checked. I should have tried to buy the pot. He would have folded. My stack isn't so big right now, so... Don't do it. No. 3 times. once again clicked outside the window. 3 times I get no action. I don't care about this hand. You can take it. I don't know why I folded that either. That was a mistake. So another thing is, now that we're in the final 3, our starting hands become much more open. Like a king is almost good enough to justify it. Probably is. Jack-7, not really so much, but I will see a flop. And we have top pair, so it's good. He limped in. We're gonna call. I think maybe a re-raise would have been better there, because I have a feeling that now he just hit his hand. I'm not sure. Nah, I'm not gonna screw around. Okay. I'm gonna take a bit of a step back here, because I feel like it's not all going exactly my way right now. It's not going terribly, obviously I'm still winning, but I've shown quite a bit of weakness recently. I've folded to raises and I've not won hands, so I'm looking like the bad player at the table. At least that's how it feels to me, so I'm going to take a bit of a step back and let these guys duke it out a little bit. Wait for better hands like this. Like in this situation, this is a pretty good hand, especially when everybody's in it. That's a bad flop. I'm going to take one stab. I'm going to make it a bit of a bigger bet than I normally do. Don't like it. I hate it, actually. So I'm going to check. Okay. So we had a situation like this before. We let him win with a shitty hand, so now I'm going to go in with a big bet and hope he folds. He called. With a 4. How, though? With a 4. How do you call that with a 4? That was like almost half his stack, and he just called it. So he must have just knew I was bluffing, I guess. Could have had the ace. I did raise pre-flop. Or did I call? I can't remember now. Shit. We got Brazil on the right here. We got Germany on the left. And, of course, we are Canada, or Canada, in the middle. We are in last place. And things get a little bit more versatile in the top 3 because just the game doesn't really play the same way. And the blinds are starting to get up there. I'm glad I got some free money there. I was not a fan of that hand. I can't believe I had pocket aces 3 times, though, and every time everybody folded to me. You know what? It's a king, right? Give me a king. I remember reading a forum thread a long time ago about King 3, or King Crab they called it for some reason, about how it was some dude's like really lucky hand. Let's try to channel that dude's energy here. No, thank you. Did you really want like 700 chips that badly? Straight draw with an overcard. It's not looking that great. 400. Nah, I'm not invested. I'm at that moment now that where I need to have the good hand. And maybe 5-7 of diamonds is it. I've been itching to play a hand like this, and look at that. That's exactly why. You just flop the straight, and it's just easy. That's all you really have to do in this game. Is just make sure that the flop is 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not a straight yet. It's a straight draw. I seriously thought I had the straight there. I have a couple draws available to me. He's probably going to want to try to buy this now. I thought I flopped a straight, but I didn't. So that's a little dangerous. This is not good. This went from... Oh, wait. I still have a pair of 7s, though. Oh, he flopped a straight. I thought I flopped a straight, but he flopped a straight. And we both almost flopped... What a hand. Let me, real quickly here before we end this video, see if I can add another window. And we're going to call it Hand History 1, because I have a feeling I'm going to need 2 of them. And yeah, that's the one we're going to add. We're going to just throw it in the middle here. And then anytime we want to look at the hand history, it should pop up. Any hand. Nope. Because when I close that window, it just went... Oh, I see. Okay, hold on. This is me just being a noob streamer. But if I go to properties, I can then choose a specific window. So let's visualize. Got the specific window. We will choose... Yeah, not that. Why is there no... Hold on. Cancel. Sorry about this, guys. It's pretty stupid, but I thought this would be easier than it is turning out to be. There, now I have the hand. Yeah, this one. But I don't think it's going to let me... So this is the hand history, right? But as soon as I close it, it just goes to PokerStars. So that is not going to work. I'll have to figure out how to do that. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know what you think about poker, because I think it's a lot of fun. Also, let me know if you care about watching the rest of it. I don't necessarily care, especially if I have a tournament where I'm going to end up getting knocked out early and then start another game. We're not going to watch to see who wins. So I'm going to go ahead and not stay until this is over, unless it finishes right now. But I am very interested in your thoughts on poker content on the channel because, well, it turns out we probably are going to witness the end of it here. But hey, we had a decent game. We were on the brink of defeat for a very long time. We ended up getting to the money and getting paid out a very small amount. Again, that was $5.59. But still, I thought it was a pretty good video. I actually don't mind the fire cracking in the background, so maybe we'll even just stick with this one. Or we could, you know, experiment with some other random ones, because some of them might be fun. Some of them might be very annoying, though, which is the, you know, the problem that I don't want to run into. But yeah, I've drawn this video on long enough. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.